Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me on today's video. Today I will be budgeting out this week's paycheck, which is $493.52. If you are new, welcome. My name is Alex. I'm a single mom to one beautiful daughter named Savannah. She is 11 years old and I'm 32 years old, and we live in the state of Wisconsin. I'm currently saving up for a house. I'm an independent contractor. I shop and deliver groceries to customers, so if you're a gig worker, you could probably relate to my budget. My paychecks are very inconsistent, and that is why I love using the cash envelope system to help me budget out each week's paycheck. Helps me stay on track, and honestly, this method has helped me save the most amount of money so far. So I hope to inspire others to try out this method if you have not yet, or just make a budget plan in general. All right, so let's get started. This week was a pretty low paycheck, and that is because I did have 2 appointments, so I ended up only working 4 out of 5 days that I typically work. So $493.52 this week. I will be setting aside 15% of my paycheck. I do this every single week. This goes into a savings account for a house. So I will deduct $74.02. After that, I am left with $419.02. After that, I have to deduct my bills for the week. I get paid weekly, so I figure out what my bills are per week, which is $288. And if you are new and curious, these are all my bills listed per week. After that, I am left with $131.50 that I can technically spend this week. So this week is going to be very, very tight. Typically, if my paycheck is under $500, it's kind of hard to work with. I typically do pull money from my time off and bad work week envelope, if that's the case. But I'm really trying hard to not spend any extra money and, save as much money as I can. So I'm going to see what I can work with. I also really debated on putting that 15% into my savings account, but again, I'm just really trying to save. So let's see how I can stretch this $131, and hopefully I don't need to pull from this envelope, but if I do, that's what it is there for. So $131. So again, I am paying for groceries now, so I do really need to put $50 into there. So I'm going to deduct that right away. I'm left with $81. I should probably put some money into gas. I like to keep $100 in here for gas, but oh boy, if I do that, I'll need to add in $58 into gas if I want to make that reach $100. So, let's see here. I only have $23 left if I do that. I might come back and change that. We will see. I spent a lot of gas this week because I went out of town twice, actually. Out of town for my 2 appointments, and then I went out of town again to go visit family, and then my Uncle Tom ended up doing more work on my vehicle, so I did spend a lot in gas this week. I definitely need to give my daughter $10 for chore money, so I'll do that right away. Yikes, this isn't looking too good. I think I'll add the remaining $13 into my envelope. I do typically give myself $20 per week, but that's fine. I do typically add money into eating out and family fun, so we'll just have to keep that in mind. But I do know we are actually pretty good on groceries. I probably won't need the full $50, but if there is any remaining money at the end of the week, then we could technically use that money for eating out. I know eating out used to have a ton of money in there, but we actually had to pull money from that actually for groceries. So that would be really awesome if we have some extra money to be able to eat out at the end of the week. So we'll see what happens, but I'm just gonna like look through everything and make sure that this is what I would like to do for this week. This looks pretty good to me. I know I wasn't able to add money into vacation either. That, you know, typically I do add $20 into vacation as well, but I think it'll be okay. If anything, I really could pull money from this if I decide to later on in the week, if like I end up needing anything else. But as far as like household, beauty, I really don't necessarily need anything. So I think it'll work out. It's really tight this week, but I can definitely make this work. I'm just going to recalculate everything, just make sure I did all of the math correct. Yep, 131. All right, you guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you for all of the comments and all the likes. It really helps out my channel grow. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.